Hi there, you're watching Nightline with me, Natasha Busst. The top stories. Malaysia-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement to boost bilateral trade by 60%. And SARA cash aids increased to 2,100 ringgit, the highest in history. Good morning. Malaysia and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, officially signed a Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA, on Tuesday. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim stated that the Malaysia-UAE CEPA is the country's first free trade agreement, FTA, with a member state of the Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC. The signing of the CEPA was witnessed by Anwar and UAE President Sheikh Mohammed Zayed Al Nahyan on the sidelines of Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, ADSW 2025 in Abu Dhabi. This agreement is expected to serve as a catalyst for stronger trade and investment ties, not only between Malaysia and the UAE, but also with other Gulf countries. The CEPA has also set a new record for Malaysia as the fastest FTA negotiation to be concluded in just 11 months. This agreement is expected to increase bilateral trade volume by at least 60% within 5 years. Malaysia's next goal is to establish similar FTAs with other Gulf countries, including Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. During a press conference with Malaysian media at the end of his 3-day working visit to the UAE, Anwar stated that the visit had successfully achieved its objectives in strengthening cooperation between Malaysia and the Gulf nation.
Untuk meningkatkan hubungan dua hala, tapi yang banyak kita tekankan ialah pertemuan dengan Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Presiden UAE di Abu Dhabi, dan juga dengan Sheikh Maktoum dan beberapa pimpinan lain dari Mazda, Mubadalah, Adia. Kini akan memungkinkan kita meningkatkan kerjasama dua hala, termasuk pelaburan dan perdagangan. Dan UAE, Emirat, adalah negara pertama di GCC. Jadi saya ingat permulaan yang sangat baik. Yang pertemuan-pertemuan ini, also polisi kita blockchain.
During the Prime Minister's official visit, Malaysia and the UAE have also agreed to renew their collaboration in several key sectors. These areas of cooperation include energy, food security, technology, and data centers. The agreement was reached following Anwar's meeting with UAE Vice President and Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum, who is also the ruler of Dubai. During the one-on-one meeting at the Za'abil Palace in Dubai, Anwar also expressed his gratitude to Sheikh Mohammed for the invitation to undertake a working visit to the UAE. Both leaders also exchanged views on efforts to enhance the strategic partnership between the two nations, as well as on global issues. Meanwhile, Anwar stated that the strong synergy between Malaysia and the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, ADIA, reflects confidence in the country's potential for sustainable and competitive economic growth. He added that ADIA represents the voice of its global investment partners in exploring various investment opportunities in Malaysia. Therefore, long-term investments, including in sectors such as healthcare, airport operations, and energy, are highly possible. Anwar said this after meeting with the top leadership of ADIA, one of the world's largest sovereign wealth funds, managing assets exceeding $1 trillion. The Prime Minister also held a meeting with the management of Mubadalah Investment Company, which manages asset and investment portfolios for the government of Abu Dhabi. Since 2010, Mubadalah has collaborated with Petronas in natural gas exploration in Malaysia through the Pegaga project, which has become a significant contributor to Malaysia's liquefied natural gas (LNG) exports. Mubadalah has also expressed interest in exploring renewable energy, hydrogen, as well as carbon capture, utilization and storage (CCUS) technologies in Malaysia. The distribution of the Sumbangan Asas Rahmah SARA aid starting Wednesday will see improvements to the targeted aid resulting from the increase in the 2025 budget allocations for the SARA and Sumbangan Tunai Rahmah STR assistance to their highest historical level of 13 billion ringgit compared to 10 billion ringgit in 2024. In a statement on Tuesday, the Finance Ministry said the SARA aid will be increased to 2,100 ringgit in 2025 compared to 1,200 ringgit in 2024 for eligible households recorded in the e-Kasih system. Recipients will receive 100 ringgit monthly via the recipient's My Card for January to March 2025, with the amount increasing to 200 ringgit per month from April 2025 onwards. Additionally, the ministry said that 5.4 million STR recipients will also receive additional SARA assistance beginning April 2025. This comprises 700,000 existing SARA recipients and 4.7 million STR recipients who are not recorded in the e-Kasih database. For the household category, the additional SARA aid amounts to 100 ringgit a month. Senior citizens who are single will receive additional SARA aid of 50 ringgit a month. Malaysia, which is the focus of the world as the chairman of ASEAN this year, will use that advantage with the full involvement of the people to boost domestic economy. Promotion of halal products and handcrafts will benefit entrepreneurs with the arrival of heads of state and foreign delegations. In an interview, Foreign Ministry Secretary General Datuk Sri Amran Mohammad Zin explained that besides meetings between heads of government, it is also important to engage the community in line with the aspirations of the ASEAN community. He added that it is a national agenda requiring a whole of nation and whole of society approach.
Kita sebagai tuan rumah perlu memainkan peranan untuk memastikan tetamu-tetamu yang akan berkunjung ke Malaysia sepanjang tahun 2020 ini mempunyai persepsi yang sangat positif terhadap Malaysia. So daripada aspek menghormati tetamu, memberi layanan yang baik kepada tetamu, this Malaysian hospitality.
In order to give prominence to the people, all government ministries and agencies have already arranged various programs and activities involving youth, entrepreneurs, rural communities, children, students, senior citizens, and women. With the theme of inclusivity and sustainability, Malaysia will be host to more than 300 meetings, programs, and summits related to ASEAN throughout this year. The curtain raiser will be the ASEAN Foreign Ministers Retreat involving all member countries this Saturday in Langkawi.
Selamat datang, welcome to Malaysia.
A syndicate believed to be engaging in corruption and money laundering involving a financial consulting firm and officers from several financial institutions have been crippled. It is learned that the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, had carried out mass raids at 24 locations, including houses and offices within the Klang Valley on January 13th, and arrested 12 individuals, including bank officers. A 5-day remand order until January 18th was issued by Magistrate Irza Zulaika Rohanuddin against 10 men and 2 women suspects following an application by the MACC. The suspects, including 2 directors of a financial consulting company, a director of a foundation, a manager and former sales manager of a bank, were remanded over suspicion of corruption and money laundering activities that involved personal loans from several banking institutions. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azambaki said the suspects were arrested in a special operation codenamed Ops Sky, carried out by the anti-graft body, Bank Negara, and several local financial institutions. Initial investigations showed that officers from several banks were believed to have received bribes from the consultant company as reward to help process and approve personal loans. The bank officers were believed to have identified customers among civil servants who have bad debts. They were then introduced to the company, which will offer what is known as multiple loan scheme assistance. The company was believed to have helped in preparing documents containing false information that were sent to several financial institutions to obtain loans. The MACC had frozen 70 company and individual accounts valued at 16.2 million ringgit and confiscated 9 luxury vehicles. The MACC also confiscated cash of more than 300,000 ringgit, aside from Hong Kong currency worth 95,000, 17 luxury watches worth 11.1 million ringgit, 5 branded handbags valued at more than 430,000 ringgit, 2 laptops and 2 tablets. Police are finalizing its investigation into former Health Minister Khairy Jamaluddin's claim on the royal addendum regarding former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak's house arrest, which is alleged to be defamatory. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein confirmed that the probe conducted by Bukit Aman's Classified Crime Investigation Unit is nearing completion. Razaruddin told reporters at the Police Training Centre, Pulapol in Kuala Lumpur on Tuesday that statements from both Khairy and the complainants have been recorded.
Kita pun dah ambil statement semalam sehingga pukul 6. So kita akan macam saya cakap, siasatan begini kita akan siapkan dalam masa 7 hari insya-Allah. Dan kita akan hantar kepada DPP AG, tengok apa AG punya nasihat.
Last Friday, a police report was lodged against Khairy over his alleged remark that Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reforms, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said, had conspired with others to conceal the royal addendum. Khairy's statement was recorded on Monday at Bukit Damansara. The case is being investigated for defamation and misuse of network facilities. Meanwhile, Azalina on Tuesday stated that enforcing a gag order to prevent discussions on the royal addendum issue is unnecessary. However, she acknowledged that the Attorney General's Chambers, AGC, may have its own legal reasons for seeking the order from the court.
My personal opinion, I don't think so. There should be a gag order because number one is already public domain, and number two is that Parliament is going to sit in next month, so all this may be raised again. So, but I think to be fair, maybe the AGC have their legal reasons, and they're going to submit to court and let the court make a decision.
On Monday, Senior Federal Counsel Shamsul Bul Hassan said that the application for the gag order against public discussion on the royal addendum will be filed on January 20th. He emphasized that the order is intended to safeguard the royal institution as the matter involves sensitive issues related to royalty, religion and race, collectively known as the 3 Rs. In Terengganu, the Dungun Magistrates Court ruled that the female driver charged with the murder of 3 University Technology Mara UITM students from its Dungun campus is fit to stand trial. Magistrate Nur Amira Fatiha Osman made the decision and set February 20th for the next mention of the case involving Norizan Ismail, aged 50. The decision followed a request from Deputy Public Prosecutor Nur Ashani Azman for the psychiatric reports of the accused. At the proceedings, Nur Ashani informed the court that the accused was deemed fit for trial based on the psychiatric report received from the Permai Hospital in Johor. During the proceedings, the accused appeared confused and was unable to recall her own identification card number when asked by the interpreter. On October 15th of last year, Norizan was charged under the Penal Code with causing the deaths of 3 UITM Dungun students, Muhammad Akmal Mat Tukirim, 25, Ku Adib Aizat Ku Azmi, 20, and Khairul Anwar Jamaluddin, 20. Following this, the court decided to send the accused to Permai Hospital for psychiatric treatment. In Sarawak, a major accident in Kuching on Tuesday resulted in 4 fatalities and left 5 others injured. The tragic accident at noon involved 3 cars and 2 motorcycles. Dashcam footage shared on social media showed an out-of-control car heading from the direction of Jalan Lapangan Terbang towards Jalan Stutong Baru, flying through the air into the opposite lane and colliding with multiple vehicles. Sarawak's Fire and Rescue Department said a distress call was received at 12:59 p.m. with reports of victims trapped at the scene. Firefighters from the Tabuan Jaya and Batu Lintang fire stations were then deployed to the location. Among the 9 victims, 4 were killed at the scene, a woman, a man trapped in a proton saga who was extricated using rescue tools, and 2 other men whose deaths were confirmed by medical personnel at the scene. The remaining 5 victims included a woman in critical condition, a man who sustained serious injuries, and 3 men who sustained minor injuries, all of whom were taken to hospital for treatment. The mandatory contribution for foreign labourers to the Employees Provident Fund, EPF, has been described a step in the right direction for Malaysia, aligning the country with international best practices. Its Head of Policy and Strategy Department, Balkis Yusof, said the policy is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, promoting an inclusive workforce as those contributing to the country's GDP deserve social security benefits. She said the policy should be viewed holistically, particularly in empowering human rights practices in Malaysia, which EPF highly welcomes. She added that the policy would also push more automation in the labour market in the country's pursuit to push for higher wages among the workers in Malaysia, as currently the country only has 55 robot workers per 10,000 workers, trailing behind the global average of 155 robots. As the policy would generate direct and indirect benefits to the country's economy and social development, Balkis said the initiative would also boost Malaysia's image and credibility on the international stage as a trading nation. The dollar hovered near its highest level in more than 2 years on Tuesday as traders scaled back wagers on U.S. rate cuts in 2025 after strong economic data, while investor worries about Britain's fiscal health kept frail sterling in the spotlight. With President-elect Donald Trump set to step back into the White House next week, the focus has been on his policies that analysts expect will boost growth but add to price pressures. The threat of tariffs, along with the Federal Reserve's stated measured approach to rate cuts this year, have lifted Treasury yields and the dollar, putting the euro, pound, yen and yuan under pressure. Meanwhile, a senior Asia-Pacific rate strategist said the market's focus now appears to be shifting towards the possibility that U.S. tariffs may be raised gradually.
Money Matters with Zahir Kelvin Ong Abdullah, Muhammad Ahmad Hamdan and Azaria Tagaya. Every Saturday at 5 p.m. only on TV3.
Historic win for national men's team. Actions from IBF World Cup after this breather.
Saksikan Kopi Soda 1 in a Million untuk peluang memenangi sebuah Peugeot Landtrek setiap minggu, setiap Ahad bermula 22 Disember hingga 2 Februari. Tonton dan ikuti langkah mudah ini. Imbas kod QR yang tertera di sepanjang rancangan dan jawab soalan-soalan yang diberikan. Maklumat lanjut di tonton.com.my /Kopi Soda OIAM TV3. Kopi Soda 1 in a Million, sejuta soda, satu juara.
Awak makan bibimbap, tapoki dan sushi tak?
Mestilah makan.
Terbukti budaya makan rakyat Malaysia semakin berubah.
Ambil tahu tentang HMPV, jangkitan virus yang semakin membimbangkan.
Kerana nak jimat kos, keselamatan pengguna jalan raya semakin tergadai. Ketahui akibat penggunaan tayar celok.
Okey Sofia, saya nak tanya, awak bayar tak kos penyelenggaraan kawasan dekat rumah awak?
Mestilah bayar.
Cantik. Kalau tak bayar, boleh dikenakan tindakan undang-undang tau. MHI stay hingga Jumaat jam 10 pagi di TV3.
Dan stream melalui Tonton.
Aset-aset ini yang telah dicuri, wang rasuah telah diperolehi tetapi disimpan dengan proksi-proksi tertentu.
Didakwa di mahkamah atas dua tuduhan rasuah berjumlah RM99,000.
Wang tersebut digunakan untuk tujuan black money.
Duit hilang daripada kantong negara. Skandal 100 juta.
Isu melibatkan imej negara kita. Mereka ni memegang dana kerajaan.
Saya pernah di body shaming. Dulu saya gemuk. And then pernah juga saya dikatakan bahawa kau tidak boleh jadi seorang penyanyi sebab kau buruk, sebab kau tidak cantik. Dan itu sebenarnya menjadi trauma kepada saya sehinggalah sekarang. Buruk gemuk is only what people say towards me. Saya sangat ditindas, like no one wants to friend me dulu. Dan dulu banyak juga macam bila kita kena panggil menyanyi, tidak orang pandang because you look like that.
We're back with sports. Bowling, the IBF World Cup. Malaysia made bowling history by capturing the men's team title after beating Puerto Rico 3-2 in the final in Hong Kong on Tuesday. The formidable quartet of Rafiq Ismail, Tun Hakim Tun Hasnul Azam, Demi Tan and Ahmad Muaz Fishol took the lead twice, winning the first game 203-179 and the third 197-180. However, Puerto Rico fought back with scores of 257-216 and 222-185 in the second and fourth games respectively, forcing a decider. Despite this, the national squad held their nerve and closed out the game with a final score of 227-161 to seal the historic 3-2 win for Malaysia. The nail-biting final took place at a custom-built bowling alley in Queen Elizabeth Stadium, specifically constructed for the medal playoffs. This triumph marks Malaysia's first gold in the team event since its introduction at the 2022 IBF World Cup in Australia. On to badminton, the 2025 India Open. Despite early exits in the Malaysia Open last week, national shuttlers regained their confidence and showcased their stellar performances, with 4 of the Malaysian representatives advancing to the second round in India on Tuesday. In the men's singles, Leong Jun Hao ended his streak of first-round exits with a sensational 18-21, 21-17, 21-17 victory over Asian Games champion Li Shifeng. The Malaysia's sole representative in the singles in the competition will next take on another Chinese, world number 21, Weng Hongyang. Dosefe Nur Izzuddin Muhammad Ramsani marked their elevation to the world number 2 ranking by edging out compatriots Nur Azrin Ayub, Tan Wee Kiong 21-16, 21-16. Next up, the duo will face another Malaysian pair, Yap Roy King, Wan Arif Wan Junaidi, who eased past Germany's Daniel Hess, Marvin Seidel 21-11, 21-8. In the mixed doubles event, top seeds Cheng Tan-jia and Po Yi-wei cruised past Taiwan's world number 64 pair, Ye Hongwei, Nicole Gonzalez-Chan, 21-15, 21-16. Awaiting them in the second round will be Malaysia Open champions Dechapol Puavaranukroh, Supisara Po Sampran of Thailand. On to tennis, the 2025 Australian Open. Daniil Medvedev destroyed his racket and a net camera in a mid-match meltdown as he survived a huge scare against Thai wildcard Kasidit Samrej to reach the second round on Tuesday. The frustrated Russian whacked his racket 5 times into the net after dropping serve in the third set before rallying to claim the match 6-2, 4-6, 3-6, 6-1, 6-2 at Rod Laver Arena. Up next, Medvedev is set to take on American Lerner Tien for a place in the third round. In another match, 13th seed Holger Rune held off a challenge from China's Zhang Jizhen to claim a hard-fought 4-6, 6-3, 6-4, 3-6, 6-4 win in their first round clash. The former world number 4 advances to face Italy's Matteo Berrettini in the second round. In the women's singles, China's Wang Xiyu advanced to the next round after defeating Australia's Julia Grabber 6-1, 7-5 in an hour and 19 minutes. She moves on to the second round to face the winner of the match between Americans Emma Navarro and Peyton Stearns. Trump suffers final legal blow before inauguration. The details when Nightline returns.
Dulu saya orang yang sangat anak ayah. Jadi ayah yang always, Mariam, you have to do this, you can do this, you can do that. Jadi bila arwah ayah tak ada, benda tu sebenarnya I lost my biggest support. Saya cakap dengan diri saya, Mariam, teruskan fight dan perjuangkan apa yang sebenarnya Mariam nak dari dulu. Dan percayalah, rezeki itu tak pernah salah alamat.
Hayalah takkan bahagia sebab Alia masih sayangkan abang.
Kau ni bermimpi ke?
Kau jangan ingat kau ada duit, kau boleh beli semua orang.
Kau ada confident ke? Kau cakap apa?
Saya mesti rasa macam kau sedang bermimpi.
Bab duit ni atas ihsan budi bicara.
You tak ada hak nak serang Haila. Dia isteri I.
Kau menolak aku. Tolong. Bagi aku kenal kau dulu. Kau tak macam ni. Kau baik.
Wanita Milik Kaiden. Isnin hingga Jumaat 7 malam di Akasia TV3.
Wanita hari ini.
Bekas pasangan boleh ke dijadikan kawan?
Ada yang boleh tapi ada yang pilih untuk jadikan sebagai kenangan.
Minggu ini kami bawakan variasi makanan yang diperap.
Oh, macam budu, cencaluk dan pekasam sedapnya.
Mendidik anak itu bagus.
Tapi kenapa perlu ada persaingan?
Hikmah di sebalik musibah.
Menanti pelangi indah di sebaliknya.
Dalam kahwin ini dah mulalah rasa lain.
Cubalah hangatkan kembali rumah tangga.
Semuanya menarik di WCI.
Dan stream ditonton.
Wanita hari ini.
Kalau anak saya tu, saya tak nak dia macam dia hilang kasih sayang seorang ayah. Saya setiap hari saya doa, ya Allah, kau panjangkanlah umur. Saya tak nak isteri saya jadi susah payah macam mana mak saya besarkan saya. Ya Allah, kau panjangkanlah umur aku. At least keluarga saya dah ada benchmark. Diorang dah senang. Kalau ajal aku dah sampai, aku redha ya Allah. Tapi bukan sekarang.
The first hearing in the impeachment trial of South Korea's suspended President Yoon Suk-yeol on Tuesday has been adjourned after he failed to appear. The hearing in Seoul was adjourned just minutes after it started in the country's constitutional court due to Yoon's absence. The president's lawyer had said he would not attend the hearing, saying the ongoing bid by authorities to detain him prevented him from expressing his position at the trial. The court must now set a new date for a hearing before they can proceed without his participation and is now set to be scheduled for Thursday. The court has 180 days from December 14th to make its ruling. As the Los Angeles area braces for another wind system to move in this week and emergency responders there continue to battle wildfires, investigations are underway on Tuesday to try and determine what might have caused some of the most destructive fires in California's history. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives have now taken the investigative lead in the Palisades fire, where over 23,000 acres have now burned and approximately 5,000 structures damaged or destroyed as of Monday. Investigators are also examining Eaton Canyon in their hunt for clues in Altadena, where over 14,000 acres have burned and over 7,000 structures are thought to have been destroyed or damaged by what is known as the Eaton Fire. According to officials, one possible theory that has neither been substantiated nor ruled out is the involvement of transmission lines or electric facilities in inciting any of the LA County fires. However, a parent company of one of the country's largest electric utilities, which owns transmission lines in the area, said it has not seen evidence that electrical equipment there started the blaze. In a report filed with the state, the company said no fire agency has suggested that its electric facilities were involved in the ignition of the fires. Also in the U.S., and just days before Donald Trump's inauguration, a DOJ report released on Tuesday said the U.S. president-elect would have been convicted of crimes over his failed attempt to cling to power in 2020. The report, written by special counsel Jack Smith, detailed how he believes the evidence would have been sufficient to convict Trump in a trial if his success in the 2024 election had not made it impossible for the prosecution to continue. He said the department's view that the Constitution prohibits the continued indictment and prosecution of a president is categorical and does not turn on the gravity of the crimes charged. He also stressed that the office assessed that the admissible evidence was sufficient to obtain and sustain a conviction at trial. After the release, Trump, in a post on his Truth Social site, called Smith a lame-brained prosecutor who was unable to get his case tried before the election. He has depicted the cases as politically motivated attempts to damage his campaign and political movement. Mediator Qatar says a Gaza ceasefire deal is at the closest point it has been in the past few months on Tuesday, adding that many of the obstacles in the negotiations have been ironed out. According to officials, Hamas has accepted a draft agreement for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip and the release of dozens of hostages. Mediator Qatar also said the negotiations were at the closest point yet to sealing a deal. Meanwhile, an Israeli official said progress has been made, but the details are being finalized. The plan would need to be submitted to the Israeli cabinet for final approval. All three officials spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the closed-door talks. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look at visuals of vivid lanterns, which combine traditional Chinese cultural elements and modern technology at the annual Spring Festival in Sichuan. With that, I'm Natasha. Thank you for watching and stay safe.